Welcome to the Movie Cheer Podcast presents Heatwave at the Cinema, the pay-per-view summer show today. And my name is AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer. Hope you're all doing well. And for this summer pay-per-view show today, ladies and gents, like I said, every 3 months we do a pay-per-view show. We do a special kind of episode. And today I am joined by two special guest co-hosts today. First of all, I've got Ben, aka Rider Rated 18. How are you doing, Ben?
Not too bad, AP. Nice to sort of have a Saturday off and to chill out and talk about some movies. So yeah, looking forward to it.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely superb. I go to my second special guest co-host today. We have Shaun, aka Media Collector Madness. Shaun, how are you doing as well, buddy?
I'm really good, thank you. Glad to be back on again. It's a really good fun show.
Super. Let's say it's good to welcome you both back to the show. We've obviously both of you have been on the Movie Cheer podcast in some shape or form before, and it's really great to be welcoming you both back onto the show today for this pay-per-view episode. So it is going to be a summer themed episode today, and myself, Ben, and Shaun, we have all picked out a summer movie, and I've said to the guy, kind of really kept it very vague. I said like something that you would go as your go-to summer movie, something that you think is just the ultimate summer movie for you. It could be a movie released at any point in the year, but just something that you would gravitate to more in the summer period. So we've all got a choice today. We're going to go through them for the headline topic. But before we get to that headline topic, as always, we do a segment on the show called Not So Worthy Blockbuster Housekeeping. This is the part of the show where we just have a general easing in chit chat, discuss what's going on with our channels, with our content, and just settle in for the rest of the show. So let's see, not so worthy blockbuster housekeeping for this week, guys. First of all, I thought it'd be cool. Like I said, you've been on before, but just to reintroduce yourselves to people who are watching either live or in the replay today. And if you are listening along live, feel free to get in the live comments. We will be looking at the live comments throughout the show in between segments. But even if you're listening on the replay as well, feel free to leave a comment. But like I said, reintroducing yourselves, Ben, Rider Rated 18, where can people find you and what type of content can they expect from yourself, Ben?
Yeah, I'm mainly active on Instagram. That's really the only social I'm involved with, and basically just sharing what's behind me. I do a few live streams now and again. Usually show off a load of laser discs and a lot of 90s action films and just anything that I'm in the mood for. You know, as you can see, I've got sport for choice behind me, so it's pretty much movie related. Sometimes a bit of motorsport, but mainly it's movies all the time.
One thing I really enjoy as well on your Instagram feed, Ben, is actress appreciation.
Yeah, actress.
Tell everyone about actress appreciation, Ben.
I mean, I briefly did this thing where I would pick a certain actress and like share them like every Monday or Wednesday, and I came up with a few like Weiss Wednesday for Rachel Weisz. I came up with Moss Monday for Elizabeth Moss. Sharon Sunday for Sharon Stone, and I did that for a few weeks, but it was getting a bit stale. And then now and again, it's like, you know what, sort of free it up a bit. And now it's just like any favorite actress of mine, I'll just share a lovely picture of them and share them on stories and tag them in all their movies. And there's a lot of very beautiful talent out there, and they deserve to be shared, and we deserve to enjoy them because we've got some lovely ladies in movies. They're all talented.
Right.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot now for 2022. Who has been your favourite actress of this year so far?
So far this year? Just trying to think. See, now my mind's gone completely blank because I'm just trying to think of the movies I've seen so far this year. Oh boy, 2022.
I'm throwing this your way as well, Shaun. I'm throwing this to you, Shaun.
Yeah. So.
And this could be in a TV show or a movie as well. If there's any particular actresses, I'll say first of all, I think in Doctor Strange 2, there was it Rachel McAdams in that? I think she's a really talented actress. But I think as well, the young girl who played American Chavez, I don't know the actress's name, but I think she was really cool in that. I thought she was like a highlight of that movie. I thought she was a really talented young actress.
I thought the young girl who played Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi things, I think she stole it for me from that show. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, she's superb.
She was really, really good.
And I think like
I would.
Sorry, go on, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, one that's just come to mind. I mean, I was quite impressed with Jennifer Connelly in Top Gun Maverick. You know, it was nice to see her back in a mainstream movie because she's done so many different movies over the years. It was nice to see her, you know, in a mainstream one alongside Tom Cruise, and they had good chemistry on screen. So yeah, Jennifer Connelly. There you go.
Superb. Well, two excellent choices. Like you said, the young actress who played Leia, I thought she was fantastic in that role, and Jennifer Connelly she was in more recently. Was that Snowpiercer show? Is that what she's been in? Probably more recently. She in that? Is she? I've not seen this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's meant to be pretty decent show. But and let's go to Shaun now. Shaun, to reintroduce yourself to the audience as well. Introduce yourself. Where can people find you, and what type of content can they find from yourself as well?
Yeah, so my channel is Media Collector Madness, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Letterboxd, and Twitter. So I'm on all the channel on the social network stuff.
Yeah.
I mainly do pickup videos and a couple of reviews I've done. So I'm trying to branch out and do more and more different topics. So
fantastic.
So at the moment it's just like pickup videos.
So I said I noticed you had a recent pickup video the other week, Shaun. So what was some of the highlights from that pickup? Any favorites that you've enjoyed watching?
The Batman I picked up on DVD. I picked up Coming to America as well, the new Eddie Murphy one, which wasn't a great film, but it was good to have a physical copy of it because it was only on Amazon Prime, and because I've got the first one, it's nice to have that one to go with it.
Superb.
So that went too bad.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'll just say just briefly that you can check out both Ben and Shaun's channels, social media accounts. I'm going to link them all in below, and obviously at the end we'll obviously mention where you can find yourselves again. But that's Media Collector Madness and Rider Rated 18. Both of these guys have got excellent channels, social media accounts, and the bottom line as well, they're both top guys as well. Sound guys, that's the main one. But we are let's move on with a little small bit as well. Latest video on the channel this week, Movie Curator Shelf Club on the Movie Cheer podcast channel. Latest video, we're just discussing what's putting together a family-friendly shelf. Do you guys do this at all? Do you curate like collections, like mini collections within your collections, or how do you like sort of put together a collection? I'll start with yourself, Ben. But do you have it in science fiction, or do you have, like you were saying before we went on earlier, like the Arrow collection? How do you sort your collections out?
The main bulk of it is pretty much alphabetical because that's just easier. I've tried to do genres before, but it just ends up getting too messy. And sometimes if there's a genre I don't have enough of, it just looks a bit odd on the shelf. So really, mainly A to Z, and the boutique labels have their own ones, like with the arrows here in the corner, and also the Criterion collections are in the spare room, and the 88 film slashers are down here somewhere. So boutique labels are usually separate, laser discs are separate, but pretty much the bulk of the collection, A to Z, is just easier.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. What about yourself, Shaun? How do you put your collections together? Do you curate it into certain order?
Mostly it's I try and keep my comic book stuff together, and then I've got all my Doctor Who stuff in one place. But basically everything else, it's all over the place. I've got box sets all over the place. I've got all sorts, but there's no particular order for anything else. But yeah, so I try and keep like sequels and trilogies and all that sort of stuff in together. But I haven't really got a set order for them.
Everyone's got a way of having the collection, whether it's, like you said, alphabetical, you have a certain way of doing it. Everyone's got a different way. I've only started recently doing these like cute little mini curations, but I think more than anything, it's like they've enjoyed the process of putting together little collections as well. Just like picking certain ones out and putting in this. It's just like a little fun little process I've found. So it's been fun doing that. Anyway, so just a little reminder as well. Next week on the show, it will be a Thor Ragnarok Love and Thunder. What was it? The discussion before, and we're going to do discussing some what's the word? Not spoilers, predictions. That's it. I'm getting tongue-tied here. It's going to be a prediction show next week of Love and Thunder. Are you guys looking forward to that movie? Shaun, what did you think? Are you going to be excited for that one, or are you not too bothered about Thor, Love and Thunder?
If it's like Ragnarok, then yeah, it'll be really good.
Super.
So yeah, it should be a fun one anyway, as long as it's like a filler movie.
Yeah, definitely. Ragnarok. Did you like the first two movies, or what did you think of the first two?
I didn't mind the first one. The second one I didn't think was as good.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Ragnarok was the best one out of a lot of them.
What about you, Ben? Did you like any of the previous four movies? Are you looking forward to the Thor, Love and Thunder?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting because he's like the one of the main Avengers that's getting a fourth movie, whereas Cap and Iron Man aren't getting a fourth movie. So they're going into a bit of uncharted territory here. So we're not sure how it's going to go. But I'm open to it. I'm keeping my expectations a little bit low. I'm hoping they don't go too far with the comedy in this one because that's what the trailer had. It had maybe a bit too much of a funny vibe. But I'm hoping to be proved wrong. And hopefully it will be a success. And it's still being directed by Taika Waititi, who did Ragnarok. You know, and he's proven himself very recently. So, I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, Marvel continue to impress me all the time. So, but at the moment, I'm just keeping my expectations a little bit low. But let's see how it goes. Yeah.
He's a busy man, Taika Waititi. He's obviously doing the Thor, Love and Thunder. He's got a new Star Wars movie as well, isn't he? Coming up soon. I don't know. It's very...
Any voice in Buzz Lightyear movie as well?
He is indeed, yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
I'm not too sure. I've still not checked that movie out. Have you seen that? No, I've not seen that one yet. It looks good. I think it's had a lot of mixed reviews, and I mean, I kind of like avoid if someone says it's bad in like in the reviews and stuff. You know, you get all like the movie pundits. I always try and make my own impression of the movie, but I thought it would have had like rave reviews. That one, like a spin-off of Toy Story, but maybe because Toy Story is so beloved, the people just are not really fussed on.
I think everyone's crying out for a Woody movie now, aren't they? I've read online.
I'm down for that. Anyway, let's move on. That's the not so worthy blockbuster housekeeping segment of today's show over and done with. Let's move on now to the headline topic of today's show of Heatwave at the cinema. So today's headline topic is summer blockbuster movies on Heatwave at the cinema. I hope you like that title as well. Heatwave at the cinema. I love saying that. I think it's a really cool name. I feel like Vince McMahon when I say like it's Heatwave at the cinema. We won't mention Vince McMahon. We won't mention it. But today, as I said in the intro, I've asked these two fine gents and myself to pick out a summer movie of our choice. Whatever it may be, it's something that reminds you of summer. Maybe it's a summer blockbuster. Maybe it's got a theme, like a summer theme to it. Whatever you define as a summer movie. And basically, I've asked Ben and Shaun to pick one as well for today's show. And we're going to deep dive into those movies now. So I'm going to start off, first of all, with Shaun. Shaun, Media Collective Madness. What is your choice, Shaun? And tell me a bit about your choice.
I picked The Goonies, which is a 1985 classic full of kids hunting for treasure. Starring Sean Astin, Corey Feldman, Josh Brolin.
We're all laughing. If you're watching the YouTube video, we've all got the same DVD on the screen.
Yeah, that's it.
So why... The Goonies, Shaun. What makes this your favorite summer movie? Is it like a certain reason why you picked this one?
It's a nostalgia thing. It's one of those films that is really rewatchable. I can always go back to.
Yeah.
I was 7 years old when it came out, so yeah, so I've grown up watching it really. So it also sparked the careers like Corey Feldman, Sean Astin, and Josh Brolin. He looks really young. It's really weird seeing them in this because they're about 48 now, 49. Some of them. Definitely. So really good film, really fun. So you got pirate treasure, and you got all sorts in it.
Yeah, so this is like an I'd say like an adventure movie, a treasure hunt movie,
Yeah,
isn't it? So it's like
treasure hunt
you've got
movie. Yeah,
a bunch of kids at the start of the movie. They find out. I think it's like the whole
They're-
town is
they're-
a bunch of
I think
houses.
the whole tower's going into foreclosure or something, and
Yeah.
they are going to leave. So this is going to be their last day together.
And then
And so, yeah, there's some really funny performances, like the guy who plays Chunk. Yeah, he's really good at it. It's really funny.
he's definitely he's one of my favorite. Him and Data as well.
Yeah,
He's a great character.
He stars in Indiana Jones as well, doesn't he? In the Temple of Doom.
I don't know the actor's name, but he was
in. It's Kei Hai Kwan or something.
It's not, I think it's something like I think it was.
Yeah,
he's in that Everything Everywhere All at Once movie as well now, isn't he? I've not seen it yet.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I've heard
Not
some
seen
good things about it though.
Have you seen that one, Ben?
No, I've seen the trailer. I do want to see it at some point, but I don't think it's had a cinema release over here, and I'm just waiting for a DVD or a Blu-ray to come out to try and get it, because I've heard very positive things about it. So yeah, hopefully at some point I'll get to see that.
Yeah. So, any favorite moments in this movie, Shaun? Any favorite moments throughout this? Obviously, they find it's One-Eyed Willie, isn't it? They find
One-Eyed Willie is the pirate. They find the map in the attic.
Yeah.
And so they decide to go and hunt for the treasure. And then there's the criminals, the Fratellis.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's Joe Pantaleone. Can't pronounce that right. Yeah. So he's in it. He's also in Bad Boys as the captain.
Yes.
And so if you don't know him. Yeah, so I think this is one of his first performances as well, and he's good as the bad guy in it.
Who's the brother who's in License to Kill? Is it? Do you know in the James Bond one?
I can't remember his name. I know who you mean. Yeah, he's like the main villain. Yeah.
Is he the other brother? Is that his name? Is it? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Darby.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's he's
yeah. So he's the other brother, and he escapes from prison, so they're on the run. And so the Goonies get tied up with those. And the big brother,
Sloth.
That's it, Sloth.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, you guys.
Well, so we get Sloth, who's locked away. So obviously there's three brothers here, and the two other Fratelli brothers, and then the mother as well. And they're all obviously on the run, criminals, and they end up getting obviously a collision between the Goonies, this young band of kids who found this treasure map, and they're going to find One-Eyed Willie's treasure to try and get his small fortune to really save their town and their homes by the end of the movie. That's the hope anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously then the villains of the piece, as you said, the Fratellis, they are the ones who throughout the story they intermingling with Chunk, with his character, when they go to the sort of residence, and then we see like this really fun underground in a cave movie, isn't it? It's pretty cool to try and find this buried treasure of One-Eyed Willie's. What do you think of the sets in this, Shaun? Did you think like?
I mean, for the times and stuff, I thought they were okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 1985, and the effects and stuff were probably at a minimum. But yeah, I really enjoyed the sets.
It's pretty cool. Ben, what are your thoughts on this movie? Are you a fan of it?
Oh, I've always got time for the Goonies. I do remember first time I saw it was must have been the ITV premiere back in '88 or '89, I think it was. And I was obviously too young to see it at the cinema because I would have been 3 when it came out. And it was just one of those movies that was always on television. You tape it off television, you just watch it every year. And I was so pleased when this DVD came out because it hadn't been available for a while. And watching it again, I was just so impressed with all the performances from the kids. They really give some solid performances. There isn't really a bad performance in there, I don't think, from them. Great direction from Richard Donner, who did Superman. He did the Lethal Weapon films as well. And again, the set designs, all those caves, they just look so good. And, you can't beat authenticity like that. Because now and again, for today's market, all of that would have been green screen, I think. I don't think they would have done all that as sort of on set design. And great bad guys, a great score as well. You know, very memorable music as well. You got the Cyndi Lauper video in there as well, and yeah, it's just a very enjoyable movie. And yeah, I've always got time for it. Anytime it's on, I'll watch it. And yeah, it's just a real nostalgic trip. And this DVD is highly recommended. There's a good commentary on here. Have you guys watched the commentary on here?
No.
It's got the entire cast doing the commentary. Oh, you haven't watched it? No.
I'll have to watch it
because they actually. Yeah, they've got the entire cast, and they actually show them on camera while the film starts, and they go through each other, and they're all there. And Richard Donner, the director's there as well. I think it was recorded back in 2006, so obviously it was quite some time ago. And it's enjoyable commentary. There's some good facts in there that I won't spoil. Yeah. It's
got like a really good pedigree as well. This we're talking like director. I mean, so like this is like Shaun said, it was June. I think it was a June. Let's see the date. We've got 1985. I think it was a June release in 1985, so a summer release as well. And Richard Donner, he directed it. Obviously, a lot of people would know him from Lethal Weapon movies, directing those. Obviously, more importantly, Superman. Obviously, the first Superman. He did number 2, but I think there was a bit like they had 2 directors. There was a bit of differences there, was there, or something? I know there was something. Was it Superman 2? They had like
he did like most of the movie. But then, he did most of the movie, and then he was replaced by Richard Lester. So a lot of the stuff that he did had to be reshot for Richard Lester to get full credit. So yeah. So
obviously, but like big time director, he does the Goonies. But when, like I said, at pedigree, then you've got Steven Spielberg, who did the story for this. So he was the one who came up with the story for the Goonies. And then you've got Chris Columbus. Spielberg produced it as well, And then you've got Chris Columbus, who directed Home Alone, the Home Alone movies, the first 2 anyway, and the first 2 Harry Potter movies, and obviously countless more movies. He was I think he was the screenplay writer on this. So just like, first of all, that's just like a brain box on fire. That's just a superb combination there for a movie, and I think it just shows on screen. It really is a fantastic like adventure family movie, isn't it? I think it's spectacular, and I think the sets. I brought this up with both of you with the sets. Apparently, it was like one of the largest sets they built at, like, I think it may be like some of the studios in America, and like all the cave scenes. Obviously, they all built the sets, and at the end scene, I suppose it's spoiling this a bit, but like we see One-Eye Willie's ship, and it's in just like this. You see the backdrop of this massive big cave. Obviously, it's all a big set piece, and you see all the water in the background, and it just looks phenomenal. I was watching it last night. The movies to just like rewatch it and re-catch up on this, and I thought it looked just amazing just to look at. Like, you see the water, and when they're jumping in the water and stuff, it's just like you just see like the scale of it. You know, it's ginormous, isn't it? It's superb. Where does this sort of like go in regards to, like, you know, kid-friendly movies and movies with a cast of kids? Is this your favorite movie of all time with a cast of kids, Shaun? Like obviously looking at other movies, you have like more recent movies like the It movies where you've got like young actors in there, and like Home Alone, for instance.
Oh, it definitely stands out.
Is it a standout for you?
Yeah, a lot of good performances. I was thinking, you know, with the general size of the film, I mean, like if you would make it today, it would, like Ben said, it would be like CGI and green screen and stuff like that, like Uncharted. It seems like a smaller version of Uncharted, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely it has that feel. Would you like to see a sequel to this, Shaun? Would you? I know there was rumors years ago.
I don't think it could be touched now. I know. I read an article that Corey Feldman wanted a sequel. He was reading. Oh yeah, a sequel could happen. It's never going to happen now.
Well, what about you, Ben? Would you see this as either a sequel or reboot? Do you reckon it could be done? Should it be done, or do you reckon? I don't know who would own this movie now. Would it be Disney? I'm not too sure exactly who holds the rights to this movie.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers. Own it.
Is it Warner Brothers?
And as far as I know, it's on HBO Max. Yeah, but no, I'd just leave it. It's fine as it is. I mean, if they wanted to do a sequel, they should have done it like 5 years after it, maybe. But again, too much time has passed, and there's plenty of other decent movies that are like this. I mean, Stranger Things has kind of picked up where this movie left off, really, because I think that show took a lot of inspiration from this. Yeah,
I'd say so.
But no, definitely. I wouldn't want to see a sequel or a reboot. Yeah, just leave it. It's fine. Yeah.
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 Well, I think it is an absolute superb choice, Shaun, as a summer movie, mate. I really enjoyed the rewatch of this. I thought it was a fantastic watch, and obviously some great moments throughout. And I think it's just a good like ending as well, isn't it? It's got like a really high moment ending. You know, at the end of this movie, you see the end shot, and it's just like a really fun movie all around. And yeah, I thank you very much for bringing this one to the table, Shaun. You brought an excellent choice, buddy. Now we are going to move on to the second choice of today's show, and we are going to move on to Ben's choice. And Ben, let me know what is your summer movie, and tell me a bit about it. Why have you chosen your summer movie?
Okay, I'm going to go with 1996's Independence Day. Now, this was quintessential sci-fi. This was one of the first big blockbuster movies that I remember seeing at the cinema. We hadn't really seen an alien invasion movie on this scale. I mean, you'd seen a few from the 50s and 60s, but they weren't really well made. The technology just wasn't there. But by the time we got to the mid-90s, CGI had moved on, movie making had moved on, and you get a big cast of big names here like Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Randy Quaid, and it's just such an enormously massive movie that has got so much scale. And when you look at sort of the scope of an alien invasion, this is how you do it. And to see so many landmarks get destroyed, you get to know these characters very well. There's a lot of emotional behind it. There's a bit of horror behind it as well when they actually confront one of the aliens. Some good comedy in there. I mean, some of the comedy can be a bit cheesy now, but this is what a summer blockbuster should be. Big names, big special effects, a monumental story that's going to affect the entire world. And it's very well directed by Roland Emmerich. And this one is essential for Laserdisc. If you're going to watch Independence Day, watch it on Laserdisc. Don't watch it on anything else. Yeah. It's truly... And I do remember the hype. I remember seeing it at the cinema. I remember seeing all the promotions, in newspapers. I think the Sun newspaper did this thing where if you collect a number of coupons, you can get a behind-the-scenes making-of video that's presented by Jeff Goldblum. I remember having that. And... I just always go back to it every few years, and it still holds up very well. I think the visual effects, because sometimes movies from this era, some of the visual effects can look a bit ropey, but at this point, they were still using all of the tools. I mean, like that warehouse explosion was a miniature; it wasn't CGI, and I just think that just looks better than anything green screen or anything computer generated that they do. So when you use all the tools and take your time with the visual effects, it can look amazing. And a lot of it was on set. A lot of it was filmed, in New York and Los Angeles and Washington. And just a very good feel-good movie. Like by the end, everything turns out all right, and it's just a boss movie. And it's going to show off the gatefold, if I may. There's loads of production notes in this one. Where we go. That's it.
Nice, sweet.
This is an absolute essential for Laserdisc. The audio is amazing on this. And the picture's really good as well. If you can track this one down, get it. And I can always go back to Independence Day any day of the week, or at least once a year. And just one of those sort of feel-good summer movies. And seeing it in the cinema back in '96 was a massive mind blow. Because I was 13 at the time, so this one was perfect.
So this is obviously again same as Shaun's choice, and another summer release, July 1996. We have obviously Will Smith in there. We have Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman. This must be obviously the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. When was that? Like, would you say like mid-90s, 95, 94 maybe?
Around.
And then
I think he just finished Fresh Prince before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he might have either just been finishing the last series, or he would have finished the last one. Yeah.
So then he goes into, obviously, he has it's kind of a bit like Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey had like that year where he had Dumb and Dumber out and Ace Ventura, and I think maybe another big movie. And it's like kind of like a similar pattern with Will Smith. It wasn't obviously the same year, but you had 1996, he has as Independence Day come out, and then in 1997, he has Men in Black. And it's just like two mega blockbuster movies in the space of like
I think Bad Boys as well was around that time as well, I think.
Yeah, it's unreal. And
Bad Boys the year before, yeah.
It really, that's just like that like a few years just in a short period just like made him a mega star, didn't it? It's super, and he's great in this. He's a fantastic character, and obviously Jeff Goldblum as well. He's coming off of Jurassic Park a few years earlier as well. He's in that. It feels like to me it's like it's Jeff Goldblum, but it feels like he's like lowered like the charisma level just a tiny bit in this movie. You get it a bit more near the end. I feel like a bit more like Jeff Goldblum, but it feels like he's like just like toned it down a tiny bit. I don't know if you felt that way, but I was watching it and I felt like He's just like, it wasn't like a super over the top, but he was. I think it was just a great ensemble cast with them all. For yourself, Ben, what favorite moments in this movie? Any favorite moments in particular, or favorite scenes?
A lot of it was, oh man, there's so many to choose from. I mean, one thing that stands out is when, after the alien ships have attacked, and then you see that attack of the smaller ships on the military airbase, El Toro. Yeah. That shot where all these alien spaceships just come in and they're just blowing the crap out of this. It's obviously it's a heartbreaking scene, but it's so well put together with in-camera explosions and visual effects explosions as well. And also, what other bit stands out? Probably that first bit when the ships actually show up, when they emerge from the fire and the smoke in the sky, and everyone's just stopping and just looking at this thing in the sky. And that's what we would all do. Like, if this was to happen, we would all just stop and just gasp at it and think, what is going to happen? And the music cue was very good at that point as well. And of course, when they eventually strike and they start blowing up all the landmarks, it's just just crank it up on the sound system and it's going to just look and sound amazing. Yeah.
It's awesome. I think like you said it as well. Like obviously the models, a lot of like model making in this, scale models in there as well. It was they really like went old school, didn't they? Really, with directing and the creation of it, like less CGI and went for classic effects, like of like the 70s, the 80s, like them feel like a Star Wars movie. And I think you see that in one shot when you see that spaceship, and it's just you can just see it just visually looks just like crispier on screen. It just looks better. I feel with them effects. What about yourself, Shaun? Any favorite moments, favorite scenes for yourself?
One of them was Randy Quaid's end scene, where he destroys the ship. I love that scene where he just goes, "I'm back." I really like that scene.
That's all. Sorry, we've just got some bugs and spammers in the chat. Sorry, buddies, guys. I'm just blocking these out there quickly. But it's absolutely awesome. And what do you reckon of Bill Pullman as the president? Anyway, would you say best on-screen president in a movie? What do you think of that? Like,
yeah, he's really good. Yeah,
it's a good performance.
I enjoyed him in this.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, when he delivers that speech, it's an emotional way. It gives goosebumps when he does that speech, and you feel, the sense of pride, and let's go and beat these aliens. We can't be held back by differences anymore. We got to unite, and let's go and kill them. Yeah, it's a good speech.
Yeah.
I feel like, that speech is awesome. It's fantastic. It's just, you feel a passion, can't you? You just like the emotion. You feel like the hairs on the back of your neck are just like going up when he does that. And I think this scene as well, what got me was near the end scene where you've got the crop duster guy who goes in and he's like, tell my wife and tell my kids I love them, and he just goes, saves the day, and obviously takes out one of the ships. I think that's amazing, that scene. But because it's even more amazing because you see like the character arc of this guy throughout the movie. You see this guy who's like a farmer, and he does he goes up in an airplane earlier on in the movie, and then he seeds like all the farms with his airplane, and he's obviously he says early on that he was like abducted by aliens. They all think he's like just a joke. He's crazy, this guy, but it turns out he was true. He was telling the truth, and in the end, he's the hero really of this story, or one of the heroes in this story anyway. But I think it's a great movie, and I think just a great cast, and the music really hits home. I think it's a great score as well for this. What do you think of Roland Emmerich? He directed this movie. One of his best sort of disaster movies, Ben. What would you say? Where would you rank it?
I'd rank it up there. I mean, a lot of his recent disaster movies, I mean, they pretty much follow the same formula. I mean, it's what he knows best, and it's what he likes to do. I would say this one's probably a bit more tightly put together. I mean, the other ones don't feel, how can I put it? They don't really have the power that this one had, maybe because it was the first one he attempted to do. But I don't really go back to many of the other ones, like, Day After Tomorrow. I think that was another one he did, and 2012, and even the sequel, to this, not really as impactful and not really as memorable. But yeah, it was a good blend of, comedy and action and horror and, just all the cheesiness that you want from a summer blockbuster, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, have you seen either of you seen the sequel? And what do you have you seen it? I imagine then, Ben. Have you mentioned it? What did you think of the
I did
sequel?
see
I've
it
not
when it
seen
came out, but I haven't rewatched it since. I did, like I said, initially I thought it was okay, but like I said, I haven't gone back to it, and I don't know why I haven't gone back to it. I'm guessing because maybe it felt too similar to this one, maybe, or I just wish they did something a bit more different with it, or I was hoping for something better. But I didn't hate it when I first saw it, but I just haven't gone back to it, and I don't own it, so maybe that's saying something, that, maybe it was kind of like, it made sense to make a sequel because naturally the aliens would come back because they're obviously going to be pissed from the time they were beaten, and it would take them 20 years to come back to Earth again. And it made sense that we adopted all the alien technology as well. So I think there was a good film in there, but maybe it was 20 years too late, maybe. Perhaps it should have been 10 years later. Might have been different. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I've not... Have you seen the sequel, Shaun?
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't think it was too bad when I watched it. It didn't connect with me like the first one did. But I haven't gone back to it either. I've only watched it once.
And Emmerich, he directed the sequel as well, didn't he? He done the sequel as well. Come back for the sequel in 2016.
Yes, he did.
Would you say in 10 years'
did,
time, 20 years' time, are we going to see another resurgence of this franchise? Is there more in this? Do you reckon that we can get a trilogy out of the Independence Day franchise, or have we seen the last one? Is this one? Is it over?
I don't know how well this one did in the box office.
I think the sequel.
I'm not sure what the box office takings were. I know the critics weren't too fair on it, but maybe the critics weren't too keen on it, and but so I can't remember the box office takings. I mean, if it did do well, then it would have been feasible for another, because they actually do tease like a third film at the end. They do an MCU, making the whole universe of stuff, but it still hasn't happened. So it's probably going to be up to Emmerich himself if he wants to do another one, because it's pretty much his, frankly. So yeah, it's all down to him.
I know the original, obviously the original budget for the original movie was 75 million. So bear in mind, this is 1996, 75 million budget, and it made $817 million at the box office. So obviously that hugely successful. Wow. I was looking at the numbers for the sequel. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it just broke even basically on that one. So maybe, you never know, in maybe 10 years' time, maybe if Will Smith wasn't featured in the second one, it was Bill Pullman returned and Jeff Goldblum, didn't they? And then I think is it Chris Hemsworth or Liam Hemsworth?
Liam Hemsworth.
That's it. Yeah, he was in it as well. Did he reference Will Smith's character in the sequels, or is he mentioned? Has he died, or what's going on?
I can't remember if they do or not. To be fair, if they do, they do it really briefly.
Passed on, and you see a painting of him, like a homonym. Yeah, very brief. Yeah.
I think I've just lost you on the video briefly, Ben. Can you hear us? Can you still hear us, Ben? Can we all, everyone hear us? Are we all good?
Yeah, you're lagging behind a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we're all back in now. We're okay. We're all good. We're all good in live video. But what did you think of the alien designs anyway on this one? Shaun, what did you think of the alien design of this? Good or bad? Where does it rank among aliens in film history? I mean, you obviously have the Alien movie franchise versus this one. What do you think of the design with this? Are you
I like the idea they're inside an armor. I do like that idea. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Solid design.
I reckon it's a solid design. I like the idea that they're actually in armor, and there's an alien inside, a bit like the Daleks. We got the alien inside the.
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Ben? Were you impressed with the design with it, or? Can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah, I don't think the aliens were really intended to be seen that much. You only have like one scene with one inside Area 51. So you do get sort of like a very sort of, creepy design, but a very unique design. They sort of took maybe a bit of inspiration from Alien itself. But I think the main point of the film was to not do too much of them. You see to them like on the mothership, and that one that's put into the operating room. But yeah, they had a good presence, and I think less you knew, the better. Made them more mysterious. We didn't really know much about them. It was all about the ships, and it was all about the spaceships coming in and blowing stuff up. Not really the creatures. So yeah, I think the mystery of them was better. By not knowing too much. And I think it failed because we did find out a bit too much about them. Maybe that sort of took away some of the mystery.
I think that's what most villains like that, isn't like Predator, Alien, any sort of like if you're having that horror type element to a movie, it's just, I think if you show the villain just like full like face on, you just kind of, it takes away the illusion of the fear, doesn't it? That fear effect of the villain, and I think like they show it obviously when they're doing like the opening up one of the aliens, and you see
that made me jump.
Yeah.
That made me jump.
As
you knew it's coming, but it still jumped. Jesus.
It definitely is jumping moment now. But you see it there, man. It's just you see the full face, and then I think it just loses that. That's the point where you lose that fear factor then, and then it's just like the rest of the movie. It's just like, okay, let's focus more on like this big alien invasion, and are they gonna obviously defeat these alien ships that are going all around the world? But I love that where they all like they're doing like Morse code to connect up with all like the armies around the world and all the Air Force. And I don't know if you guys got this, but I don't know whether it was like when Roland Emmerich was like making this movie, whether there was like a Top Gun influence in there. Did you get any, like, do you reckon maybe it's just because it's an Air Force, or do you reckon maybe, I mean, what Top Gun comes out 10 years prior, maybe was a fan of that, and maybe he thinks, is it going to be let's make an alien movie, a Top Gun alien movie? Did you think it had there was some inspiration there for you for Top Gun? What do you think, Ben?
Cheesy dialogue in the plane scenes. There was there was a lot of, Will Smith had a lot of cheese in that film.
Did you get a Top Gun inspiration there, Shaun, for that one?
It felt like it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's more the dialogue.
Yeah. No, definitely. What about yourself, Ben?
Yeah, a little bit, particularly when the fighter jets, make their first appearance. It's kind of, there's a little bit of inspiration there. Not too much, but the same kind of vibe. It is, it's a very different enemy compared to, the sea assailants over the sea. This is, up in. So there is a bit of Top Gun reference in there, but just enough to just notice it. Didn't really take too much part of the film.
Well, I gotta say, again, another top choice of a summer movie, a big blockbuster movie. This time we go from like a comedy family adventure movie, which is superb, a cult classic movie in the Goonies, first of all, and then we go to the second choice, a real like science fiction blockbuster movie of the 90s, and we've first got the 80s, the 90s, and now we're going to go on to the third choice of today's show, and this is my choice, and it is Jurassic Park. And Jurassic Park was released in 1993, June, another summer release movie, and we're going to take a trip to Costa Rica, and this is based on the book of the same name, and the book was released in 1990. And Steven Spielberg apparently bought the rights to the book before it was published, and he decided to make a film adaptation then. So he bought like the film rights to this movie. I've never read the book, so I can't really compare whether it's a takes the full story of that, or it sort of takes away, goes in a different direction. But this basically, the story is they decide to create dinosaurs, and they find the technology to create these dinosaurs on this island off the coast of Costa Rica, and they want to open it as a park called Jurassic Park. And we see then the character played by Richard Attenborough. He wants to, I can't think of his name. What's the guy's name in this? Richard Attenborough's character. Is it? It's not. Is it John? Is it Hammond? Is it John Hammond? Is
John
that the
Hammond?
one?
John Hammond.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Because you've got Alan Grant, John Hammond. Yeah, so Richard Attenborough, John Hammond. He's like this billionaire guy. He wants to open this Jurassic Park where they recreate dinosaurs using DNA that was obviously for years gone by just underground, and they mine it, create actual dinosaurs, and then they get these 3 specialists to sort of okay the island, and they bring along Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill to this island to review it, check it out. You think it's all looking great at first. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. The sights to see. You're seeing these dinosaurs. And then, like every, horror movie, science fiction movie, everything goes wrong partway through the movie. And we go down this dark road where the dinosaurs all start breaking free. And then it's just a story of them trying to escape this island and to just basically survive this island. And it is a phenomenal movie. I absolutely love Jurassic Park, and I really enjoyed the rewatch. I'm going to go first of all to Shaun. What do you think of this movie, Shaun?
I think the practical effects in this movie were awesome, especially for the time.
Yeah,
I really, really enjoyed it. Like I say, I watched it this morning just to familiarize myself with it again. But really, really, really good. Still stands out, and I still think it's probably better than the rest of them. The first one. I
agree. Yeah, I completely agree. I think, like you said, the effects, it's just, I mean, compared to the CGI and the new ones, I think it just visually, like Independence Day, I think just using practical effects, it works better, and I think it just stands out a lot more. It's a really fun movie. You remember the first time you watched this movie, Shaun? Any first time memories of watching this?
I watched this. I was in Corfu.
Right.
And I was at a bar in Corfu with a friend of mine, and we watched a pirate copy on at the bar. And you could see people. It was before it was released over here, and you could see people walking across the screen.
Hey, I bet we've all had copies like that in the day, haven't we? A few on VHS, maybe.
Yeah, they showed it at the bar, and you could tell it was filmed at the cinema.
Ben saying no. So you were in Corfu, and when did you watch this? Did you say, Shaun? A couple of years after, was it? Or
no. This was before. This was, I can't remember how old I was then, but we were at the bar, and we were watching it. They were showing it at the bar, and it was actually I think it was a couple of months before it was released over here. Yeah.
And it's Ben. What do you think of this movie? Any thoughts on this? What did you think on the rewatch of this? Did you enjoy it? You know, Ben?
Again, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it still holds up tremendously well. I do remember seeing it in the Stars 93 at that point. And yeah, there was just a lot of special effects in here that we just hadn't seen before. We had seen a real life size dinosaur, in full motion, in a very, isolated environment with, again, great cast from Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum. Again, Spielberg again, knocking it out of the park. And, again, it's a movie that I've always gone back to. Anytime it's on television, I'll always watch it. But amazingly, I didn't actually own it until I bought this box set on Laserdisc. And just watching it again, find any imperfections with the visual effects, and there isn't any. It still holds up tremendously well. And there's so much, a little bit of horror in here as well. There's a few scary moments, which, really push the boundaries to the P rating. Particularly when Modern's trying to turn the power on, and then she's looking for Samuel Jackson's character, and then you see that arm come up behind her, and the arm's gone. It's like, oh my God.
That is scary. That is a scary scene.
John Williams. I think it's one. Yeah, it's a great score by John Williams. Yeah, it's up there with Star Wars and Superman. And it's just a real tremendous movie. And I'm honest, I'm not really a big fan of the sequels. I haven't really gone back to them. I haven't really seen the new ones. I just always go back to this one because you can't beat the original. It is truly timeless, and just well. Yeah.
So I see that you obviously got the laser disc there, Ben. I've seen on Instagram. Did you have another one as well, where it's like the black cover, or is that like a? Have you got an also that's a cool one as well. So that is. It was 2 different releases on Laserdisc, or?
Oh no, it's inside.
Oh, is that inside? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what was. Yeah, that's the one I was.
No, this is just one of those box sets, and it comes with this is like the insert cover, and that was like the big box set cover. So it comes with if I can just get it out quickly, I'm showing it. Comes with a little booklet as well, and there's lots of film facts in here, and production notes, and a lot of good audio stuff in here, and just one of those great releases that you just need, and this film was made for this format, and it's the best way to watch it on this format.
Yeah. Obviously, you said there, Ben, you weren't fussed on the sequels, the reboot. I mean, were you up to with the Jurassic World ones? Have you watched them ones? Have you watched them all? Are you just not keen on them as well?
I remember when it came out in '97, saw it. I thought it was okay, but again, I like Independence Day Resurgence. I just haven't gone back to it. I maybe watched it on TV a few times, but there's something about this. It doesn't have the same staying power as this one. I watched Jurassic Park 3 once, but I don't remember what happened in it, which means it obviously didn't really connect with me. And as for the come out, I haven't seen them at all. I haven't seen them at the cinema. I haven't seen them on television. The new films I just haven't bothered with because the trailers just didn't interest me. They didn't really wow me. I just always go back to the original.
And what did you think of the sequels and the obviously the new reboots as well, Shaun? Jurassic World? Did you enjoy them or?
Yeah, I didn't mind them. I thought the first Jurassic World was better than the second one. The first hour was good on the second Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
And the last hour, I think it fell flat.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I didn't mind them. I've only seen, I think Jurassic Park 3, I think twice. I haven't really gone back to them, but I'm going to go back to them after watching today. So I'm going to go try and go through the whole thing.
I think like
Kingdom.
You did, yeah. I thought that was that. So that was the second one, was it?
Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, that was. Have you seen the more recent one? Is it Dominion?
Not yet.
No, I've not seen that one as of yet. So it's something I'll definitely check out at some point though. But I think you look at it over summer blockbusters over the past. I mean, for the last 20 years, 30 years. I think looking at more recent movies, the summer movies are all the highest grossing ones are all dominated by the Jurassic Park movies. I think like the two more recent Jurassic World movies are like in the top 10 of the highest grossing movies. So there's obviously a big demand for them as well. I can't imagine this is going to be the end of the saga. I imagine there's going to be either like a prequel to the original Jurassic Park, or there's going to be some sort of sequel. I mean, they're going to milk it, and they're going to keep on giving us more Jurassic movies. I mean, it'll be Jurassic Universe or something like that next. I imagine something like that, or Jurassic in Space. Some sort of spin-off, I'm sure we'll get in the future. But I think it's enjoyable. I think I would like to see.
Don't give them ideas.
I'm pitching now. This is it. Let me pitch. Do you know what I'd like to see? I think what would be really cool, a TV show. I was thinking about this the other day. Like a TV show, like similar. I think it was when I was watching Stranger Things, and I was watching that show, and it's obviously based in the 80s. You got this similar to like the Goonies, where you got like this young group of kids in school, and then strange events go on. But I thought, I imagine if they had like a Jurassic Park, where you have like this bunch of kids in like the 80s, and they go to like a Jurassic Park or something like that. It even doesn't have to be in the 80s, but I think like some of that as a TV show would be interesting to watch. I think it would just be different because like I thought the Jurassic World movies, for what they were are fun. I think they're entertaining movies, but I think it feels like once you've seen one Jurassic Park movie, when you've seen one dinosaur movie, it's just the same. It's the same thing. It's like copy and paste. I mean, Jurassic World was very much the similar vibe to what the first Jurassic Park was, really. It was the same thing, they got this theme park where dinosaurs are living there and it's all going great. Disaster hits and then it all goes to ruin, and then the dinosaurs are unleashed and they've got to survive this island, and same scenario. And I think the second Jurassic World kind of like went a bit different, but I think still wasn't like super different. But maybe if they went like in a direction for a TV show, they could tell a more like a longer story arc and maybe a different story arc in that way for that. I don't know what you think of that. Whether you be in for that or what do you think of me pitch?
Depends how many seasons it goes for.
Yeah. I'll take one. If we can get one for it, I'll be happy.
Because they can drag it out, can't they?
Oh yeah, definitely indeed. But yeah, I love it. I think it's just a blockbuster. It is a really good summer blockbuster movie, a good science fiction movie as well. The original Jurassic Park, and I want to get to your favorite dinosaurs, but what in the first movie in Jurassic Park? I'll start off with you, Ben. What was the one dinosaur that you were kind of like really scared of in that? Which one gave you like the fright in that, Ben?
I would say it was probably, I mean, it's obvious when you first see them. As I said, it was that scene that I mentioned earlier where Laura Dern's trying to turn on the power, and she thinks she's got away, and she's just seen Sam Neill's arm beside her, and then she thinks she's safe, and then suddenly comes through, and it's just like, oh my god! And then she starts running. You feel the tension, and once they show up, the movie just goes into another gear of tension, and just one iconic scenes where the kids are in the kitchen, and sniff them out, and like I said, that scene still doesn't look fake; it still looks real. You believe that there are others hanging around a kitchen, which is like the most I expect to see them. So I'd say the Raptors still hold up very well. Yeah, it's a great scene. Yeah, it's great tension, and that's what you want from a summer blockbuster. You want entertainment like.
My favorite scene with that kitchen scene as well, especially I think it's like at the start of it where you see the Velociraptor looking through the window. And you just see it's like through like that circular kitchen window. It's just looking through, and you just see eyes peeling and looking. I think they mentioned like we're okay in here as long as the they kind of like open handles, and then
the next
handles
scene,
open. Yeah. I don't know if it's that scene or is it later scene, but it's that
scene. Yeah,
that cracks me up. That bit.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Shaun? Most fearful dinosaur in this? Have you got one that really?
I can't remember the name of the dinosaur. It was the one that spat venom at that guy's face, and all of a sudden it's making all these cute little noises. All of a sudden the things come up, and that's it. Sprays him, and it scared me when I first watched it. Yeah, I still had to go away a little bit when it came up. Yeah, that was the one that got me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. You don't expect it.
Yeah, it was just a surprise of it because it tells you beforehand, doesn't it? When they drive in the thing, it says, it spits venom. And you think, oh yeah, all right, but you didn't realise that's the one.
Yeah,
when he's in there. Yeah, that got me. That did. I thought no.
It's when he closes that car as well. It's just like you see like it keeps on approaching him, and he close the car door, and you hear the screams and that noise as well.
I think, and when that, like I said with the Velociraptor, it's when that hunter when the Velociraptor comes up the side, and it's "you clever girl," and that's it, and that has him.
Yeah.
You go, no.
There is some. I honestly like watching this like years ago. It used to really scare me. After for years, I couldn't watch this movie. It's just like probably more in adulthood more. I've been able to like hack it a bit more. I'm not like great into horror, but there is some moments in this I find really quite scary, and just like especially I think the T-Rex scenes are like there's like you see that T-Rex for the first time.
Yeah, it amazes you. It's PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shocking. Do you reckon like nowadays would that be? I don't know. The Jurassic Worlds, are they PG as well? Are they?
Yeah, 12, I think.
Are they 12? Right.
Yeah, I think they're 12. Yeah, but I don't think they're as bad as a couple of those on Jurassic Park.
But I think all around it is a really really fun movie, a really fun blockbuster. I think practical effects win through, and I think it's with all these movies today, the Goonies, Independence Day, Jurassic Park. I think practical effects is the one thing that goes through all these movies where practical effects just look better on screen, better than CGI. And obviously these movies, they got CGI. We all know they got CGI, and it works in short doses. But I think if you're having a full movie where it's just full on CGI throughout, it doesn't work like that's where the Jurassic World movies. I feel like it just takes something away from me, where I just can't get into it as much. It doesn't click with me because of the CGI effects, just because it's just too much. And I think it definitely another one where practical effects definitely win through, and another fun summer movie. But is there any movies that you're looking forward to seeing this summer in 2022, gents? Let's start off with Shaun. Any movies that you're looking forward to seeing?
I think Jurassic Park Dominion. I want to watch next. And then you've got Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that's next month, isn't it?
Yeah. That's about a week or two away. I think now. Yeah.
I want to see that. There's a few coming up. I think it should be good to watch. Not I can afford to go to the cinema at the moment. It's just a case of waiting for them to come out. Release.
It's a good thing now anyway. At least it's like a short window. Is it like 60 days now or 90 days?
Yeah, something like that. It's not far, is it?
Not too bad. It's a bit decent. What about yourself, Ben? Any summer 2022 movies that you're really looking forward to seeing? Yeah, we Ben. Any summer 2022? Sorry, buddy. I
frozen.
Can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah. Do you want to? You're lagging behind a bit. Yeah, the feed is all sort of slowed down a bit.
It's a bit slow.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So summer 2022 movies. Movies coming out this summer. Any ones in particular you're looking forward to seeing?
Yeah. The only one really is just Thor: Love and Thunder, really, because it's the next MCU movie, and I was just trying to go through the list. Really, it was really Thor: Love and Thunder. That's really, like I said, I'm keen to see what they do with Thor now, because I think I said to you guys off camera, he's the only sort of main Avenger that's getting a fourth movie, so it's going to be very uncharted territory and something that we haven't really seen before. And it'll be nice to see how they can progress this character. You got Natalie Portman coming back. The Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be involved in it as well in some ways. You've got, as I said, Taika Waititi still directing, and he's doing Korg as well, which is fun. Yeah. And I want to see what this next chapter of the MCU is going to be like, because with the recent Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that was a hit, and I've no doubt this one will be a hit as well. So I'm looking forward.
I want to see more Korg.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't think he was in it enough for the last one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, that would be the same for me. Love and Thunder. I think that's Lightyear as well. That's another one I'm looking forward to seeing when that comes out on home release. I don't think I'll probably go to cinema for that one, but two really good summer movies. And I think for Love and Thunder is definitely going to be one of the big highest grossing ones this summer. I think it's going to do really well at the box office, that one. But anyway, they are our summer choices today. So we've had the Goonies, we've had Independence Day, and we've had Jurassic Park as well. Let us know if you're listening on the live chat today, let us know in the live comments what are your favorite summer movies of all time, and what are some of the summer movies you're looking forward to seeing this summer in 2022 in the live chat. And if you're listening on replay, let us know your thoughts on that topic as well, of what are your favorite summer movies. But we're going to go on to the next segment of today's show now. But before we get to that segment, I'm just going to go into the live chat and see what's going on in the live chat. We have got some spammers in there as well. I'm trying to delete as they go on, but they keep on coming back, and I keep on fighting them off. But let's go to the real humans here, the real people in the comments. And first of all, we have Video Tasties. That is Gary from Video Tasties. Afternoon, fellas.
Afternoon.
How are you doing, Gary? Afternoon. And let's see who else we got in the live chat today. We have got Brett from Walk On Always Believe, and he is an interesting fact on the Goonies, the scene where Josh Brolin and Chunk and the rest of the cast saw the ship in that scene. It is the first time they actually saw the ship. It's the genuine first reaction. Oh, right. So they must have just seen that, the actors for the first time. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to have both of you guys in the chat as well. Thank you very much for joining.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to rewatch. I want to listen. Well, I want to watch that again. I want to also listen to the commentary as well.
Yeah,
that you mentioned, Ben. I think that'll be good to listen to. That'll be really decent.
Yeah, because I was reading the comment on
definitely worth your listening. It's a good trip down memory cast. Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah, because I was reading the comment on Ben's Instagram about an octopus scene that was deleted, but they kept the Data's thing at the end, the dialogue at the end about the giant octopus.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good,
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I wondered why.
For some reason,
when I watched the film.
he mentioned that by this. Yeah, and yeah, it's very strange because he mentions it, but the scene is not included. But when you watch the deletions, the outtakes, you can see why they cut it because it doesn't really look that aesthetically good. It's a bit clunky and a bit wonky in places. It's not a very good scene, so that's probably why they cut it. But it's just odd how he still mentions it to the press. So, if you haven't seen the outtakes and the deleted scenes on there, check them out as well. Yeah.
That is definitely going to revisit that one this evening and check out that and see them extra features available on the Goonies. That's the Goonies DVD. Is that, I imagine, is that a Blu-ray 4K release, gents? I don't. I've used both Blu-ray, Shaun, and
I've only got the DVD. Yeah, I only have the DVD for Goonies.
Only got the DVD. As far as I know, the 4K. I think they've pulled features. I've heard the transfer is very good on the 4K. It does look really nice, but for me, there's no reason to upgrade to the Blu-ray 4K. This looks perfectly fine. Yeah, it's got all the bonus plays good. Still, just keep it. It's fine. Yeah.
Well, let's move on with the rest of the show anyway. And now we move on to the next segment of today's show. And the next segment is Movie Variant Showdown. It's time for the Movie Variant Showdown segment of the show. Are you ready? Movie Variant Showdown. Each and every week, we choose a different representative of a movie property, whether it be a case cover, a movie character, a sequel, a reboot of a movie, and put it up against another variant of that movie property in Movie Variant Showdown to see which one is the best. Now, on today's edition of Movie Variant Showdown, we will be looking at the case covers, the different variations, the different variants of the case covers for the movie Morbius. This is the new Columbia Pictures, Sony, Jared Leto led movie that is within the Marvel. It's not. I don't think it's within the MCU. This movie, by the sounds of it, it's like kind of like in its own little universe with Venom and whatever Sony is doing with the Marvel comic book movies. But we've got 3 different case covers. We've got, first of all, the Blu-ray case cover we're going to look at. And the Blu-ray cover is for the DVD and the Blu-ray. So we're going to look at the Blu-ray of that. We've got the standard 4K case cover as well. And we've also got the Zavvi exclusive 4K Steelbook cover too. So I've shown Shaun and Ben these covers beforehand, but we are going to show them on screen. But before we get to the case covers, first of all, gents, have you watched Morbius? Any thoughts on it?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I think it comes out next week, I think, on normal release, so I should buy it and watch it then. I've heard a lot of mixed stuff about it, so it'll be interesting.
What do you think, Ben? Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie, Ben?
No, I still haven't seen it yet. I've never seen such divided opinion of it. Like, some really like it, some absolutely distaste it for some odd reason. So I'm just going to wait, and I'll wait for the Blu-ray to go down in price a bit, and then maybe check it out. But I really feel for Jared Leto, because that guy can't catch a break. He had the problem, and now got problems with this. And I'll tell you that guy deserves a hit. And there's been such divided opinions about his performance as Joker, and also in this as well. But I think I'm just gonna not see it for the time being and just wait until the DVD goes, or at least the Blu-ray goes down in price for a little bit, and then maybe catch it sometime down the line. When it gets a bit cheaper.
I thought it was. I watched it a few weeks back, and I thought it was a decent movie. I thought, like you said, I think with Jared Leto, like you said, he can't catch a break. I think that his best performance was I liked him in Dallas Buyers Club. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That few years back.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's a really, really. I really thought that was a really good performance from in that.
Very good in that.
Great in that, and I didn't even mind his Joker. I think it was obviously you have Heath Ledger's Joker before, and then I think that's probably contributed to the reason why a lot of people didn't like it. It was really a big difference from that character, but I didn't think it was like the worst performance of all time. I thought it was passable. The performance, it wasn't the best Joker.
Fitted in with the Suicide Squad, with that era of films, that era of Batman. I think it fitted in quite well.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And and I think in this movie, I think there's definitely it's got its flaws. This movie, Morbius, definitely got its flaws, but I think there's more. I think what I'd like to say, and I think maybe this is where they're going with, like a Sinister Six, and this is maybe what they're moving forward. And there's a teaser to potentially a future of this character within these Sony movies at the end of this movie. But I think that's where I'd like to see it go, like maybe not a Morbius 2, but him with other villains and interacting with one of the Spider-Mans. Maybe I think that would be quite interesting to see if they do something like that later down the line. But I think he's a good performer, Jared Leto, and I thought it was a decent movie to watch, a fun superhero comic book movie for sure. But let's get to this edition of Movie Variant Showdown. Let's get to these case covers, gents. So we are going to start off with the Blu-ray of Morbius, and I'm going to show it on screen if you're watching along on YouTube. Let's have a look at this case cover of the Blu-ray. Mike's will probably cut out for a few moments while we show this. Let's have a look at it. So that is the Blu-ray cover. We've got the Morbius character on screen on the front, a close-up of his face, Jared Leto of him as the human side, and then his transformation to the vampire of Morbius. What do you think of this? I'll start off with Ben. What do you think of this, Ben? Did you like this cover? What did you think of this cover, Ben?
I actually prefer that one because you've got on it. You've got. I really do like this one more because I think you mentioned this in one of your episodes with the Drive 4K release, and it just has Scorpio, which is on the jacket and something on the front cover. And I think sometimes with films like this, you need the main guy on the front cover. That's what this one does. So you've got Leto in full view, along with the sort of vampire side on the other side, and it's simple, effective. Sort of light side, dark side. And I would actually prefer that one, to be honest, because you've shown us the other ones, and the others look a bit too generic and a bit sort of half-assed, really. Whereas similar to me, really. So I go with that one. I prefer it.
What do you think of this one, Shaun?
Yeah, I like it. You get half and half of both sides of his character. It's not too dark. It's not too bright. I think it's a good cover.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's nice to see the two different parts of this story, the main character, and I think it's a decent cover. Let's move now to the next one, the 4K, the standard 4K cover of this. So let's check out the standard 4K cover. So the standard 4K cover, it looks like it's taking a lot of like a comic booky look to it, like the style in it. It looks like a painted comic book style cover, and you see the characters in it as well. But it's definitely a very different cover from the first one, from the Blu-ray. First off, I'll start with Shaun. What do you think of this cover, Shaun?
I don't mind it. It looks like have you seen the Mondo Steelbook covers for the MCU? It reminds me of that, the vibrant colours and stuff like that. It's okay. It's not my favourite. It's all right, but it looks very, very similar to those. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen them.
I've not seen them. No, I'd have to check them. So what do they call them? Mondo.
I think it's Mondo Steelbooks. I think it's Mondo. I've seen them on the Facebook groups and stuff. But yeah, it looks very similar to that.
Do you like it? Do you think it works better with? I mean, compared to the Blu-ray, do you think so far? Would you say the Blu-ray wins through for you?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. It don't look as complicated as the Blu-ray one as that one does.
So Ben, you said you obviously you prefer the Blu-ray, but what did you think of this one anyway? The standard 4K.
I mean, it's a nice design, but really, it doesn't really stand out as much as Leto's actual face. You know, when you see, you know, what he looks like in vampire form and his real side. Whereas this is, you know, it's a nice cover, it's a nice artsy cover, but really, it just doesn't stand out as much. You know, it looks like you probably have on your wall rather than a Blu-ray cover, or a very good sort of fan art design. Maybe that's what it was. But it's not the one I would choose. I would still go for the standard Blu-ray cover.
Yeah. Let's go now. Let's go for the Zavvi Steelbook, and let's take a look at this Zavvi Steelbook. So we were watching along on YouTube. I will show that image now of the Zavvi Steelbook in the 4K. Now this one around, we again kind of like a comic booky sort of like style and painted again, like hand drawn. You'd say. Very much a close-up shot, but this time we just see the face of Morbius, but you can sort of see it's like some sort of creature, but I don't think it really looks as though it's 100% sure whether it's a vampire or what type of monster this is. But I mean, I think for me, out of the two 4Ks, definitely the second one, the standard 4K, I prefer.
Yeah.
I think it just looks, you can see a bit more, of the different characters, the different variations of characters in this. And it's just, I don't know. I think they could have done a bit more of a special look for the front cover on this one. What did you think of this one, Shaun?
I didn't mind it. It's not my favourite. I like the Blu-ray again myself, but yeah, it's okay. It looks painted. It doesn't look yeah, it's not the best one.
And obviously between the 4K standard and the Zavvi exclusive, Ben, what did you think? Which was your favorite out of those two?
I mean, just looking at it again, just trying to think. Repeat again. You're still lagging behind on my side. Can you just repeat the question again?
Sorry, Ben. So between the standard 4K and the Zavvi 4K, have you got a preference? Which one was your favorite?
I'd say I'd probably just still go for the standard 4K. I mean, as I said, it's not as good as the regular Blu-ray, but in this Zavvi one, I mean, you see like the vampire face, and there's a lot of sort of light reflection and neon stuff on there. But if you were to take away the Morbius name, that could just be any picture, really. It's not. Again, it just doesn't stand out. It's just some sort of generic monster kind of face with a figure like doing that, and it's just not as good. Like I said, you need to bank this film on the lead actor, and you can't see Leto on the front cover. I've still got to go with the standard Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the lenticular cover? I'm not sure what format it is. I don't know if it's Blu-ray or.
Oh, I didn't even.
Where if you turn it, you get one picture of Morbius, the vampire, and then one picture of the Jared Leto.
I've not seen it.
I see that the other day. That was pretty good as well. So you get both. All you have to do is just turn the thing in. That's it. But out of those three, I do like the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Was it DVD or Blu-ray, Shaun?
I think it's a steelbook.
All right. Okay.
I think it could be a steelbook. I can't remember the format it's on. It's not DVD. I think it is either Blu-ray or 4K.
Oh, good.
Could be an exclusive.
Yeah. That'll be. So I think we're all agreed. The Blu-ray cover wins through today. Are we all thumbs up for the Blu-ray? Are we all happy with the Blu-ray for the movie variant showdown for this week? That's the winner. So the Blu-ray of Morbius is the winner of this week's movie variant showdown. Let's move on now with the next part of the show. Next part of the show is movies for the weekend. And this is the part of the show where we give some movie recommendations for this weekend. I'll start off with myself. I've got two choices here. The big release now this week, I believe, or this month anyway, is this new Elvis biopic movie, and I don't know if either of you gents are looking forward to the Elvis movie. I'm not really super keen myself on Elvis. It's just I've never listened to his music. Something I'll definitely watch when it's probably on a home release. But I know Tom Hanks. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's just one of those where the biopics, some of them are good. Some of the, like the Ray Charles one, the Johnny Cash, but I think unless you're into the artist, it's sometimes I don't feel it. But I know Tom Hanks is in that movie, and I picked out Saving Private Ryan, which is a favorite of mine, a superb movie. And then I was talking about the Goonies, directed by Richard Donner. And we've got the Superman collection here. I think Superman, the first Superman movie, the original movie, is a great comic book superhero movie. Fantastic film. Start with yourself with Ben. Any recommendations for this weekend, Ben, on movies for the weekend?
One thing I'm going to is the 1996 action movie Chain Reaction, starring Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz. I recently picked up the Laserdisc, and I just haven't seen this for a good 20 years. I got it from the video shop and rented it multiple times, watched it on television, but I've never actually owned it. And it's just a very good, solid 90s, with a lot of good visual effects from the time. And I just haven't watched it for a very long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. And if you don't want the Laserdisc, you can watch it on Disney Plus because it's on there, because it's part of the 20th Century Fox segment. So yeah, I would recommend good action film. And the other one that I'm going to recommend, I picked this up from HMV. It was in their sort of big super sale they're doing. I picked up Desperado, starring Antonio Banderas and directed by Robert Rodriguez. I haven't seen this for goodness knows how long. A very good shoot 'em up, solid action, and like I said, I haven't seen this for a very long time. I think I saw this back in, when my older brother rented it from the video shop. I was just so impressed with all the action scenes, and I can't actually remember what it was about because I haven't watched it for a long time. But I'm looking forward to seeing it because no one wants it anymore. This is like old stock they're trying to get rid of. And if you're looking for sort of any DVD titles, just go to HMV because they've got some that are really on the cheap at the moment, and this was one of them. So yeah, Desperado.
Yeah, great film.
I've not seen either of them movies, so I'll be looking forward to checking both of them. Which one would you go for first out of them two? Have you got a favourite, Ben, out of them? Them two movies. Have you got a favourite out of those two, Ben?
I would say probably React because, like I said, of the bankable stars of Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman, and you got to love Rachel Weisz as well.
Oh yeah, actress appreciation, buddy.
Course,
actress appreciation.
Classic 90s action. Yeah, I'd go with Chain Reaction. Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Shaun? Have you any movie recommendations for this weekend?
Yeah, I've gone for Hugh Jackman in Prisoners.
Fantastic.
Great film. I watched it for the first time a few weeks ago, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Brilliant film. He plays a father. I think that's one of his best performances.
Unbelievable film.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. Yeah.
Well worth watching.
10 out of 10, that one. 10 out of 10, definitely.
Yes.
And then
amazing
second,
film.
Legend of Tarzan.
I've not seen that one.
Well. Yeah.
We got
awesome.
the Ben showing the Blu-ray. He's got the Blu-ray Prisoners on screen as well.
This is a great great film as well. I really like this one with Samuel L. Jackson in it as well.
That's that because when did that come out? Come out a few years ago now.
Okay.
Yes, it was a little while ago. I think it's about 4 or 5 years old now. Can't see it. I can't read the date on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't recall seeing
it's interesting. I like the original Tarzans, ones they used to show on telly.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I got that one.
Oh, definitely. That's it. Well, some cracking recommendations, gents. Let me know in the live chat, what are you watching this weekend? Or what are your movies for this weekend? Let me know your picks, and let me know if you're going to be checking out any of these recommendations this weekend, ladies and gents, on the live comments. I'm just going to go to the live chat again as well. So we got another comment in the live chat. We've got Brett, Walk On and Always Believe. If you like dinosaur flicks, I highly recommend Prehysteria. It's a flick I watched a lot as a kid, and in my opinion, it's the best of the dinosaur genre. I don't know if either of you have seen that movie. It's called, what was it called again? Prehysteria. It's not one I've heard before, I'll be honest with you, but it's something
I've heard the name, but I can't say I've seen it. I've heard it somewhere before, but I can't say I've seen it.
I'll definitely write that one down.
Oh.
Prehysteria. Have you heard of that one, Ben?
Yeah, I'll try and check it out.
Yeah, that's well. Thank you very much for the recommendation.
I can't say I have. No, it sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I have to look into it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's movies for the weekend for this week. Let's move on now to the next segment of today's show. The Amazon Top 10 is approaching. Prepare yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Amazon Top 10 has arrived. The Amazon Top 10. Each and every week here on Movie Cheer Pod, we go through the Amazon Top 10 of bestsellers list for physical movie releases. This is DVD, 4K, Blu-ray on Amazon.co.uk. And let's have a look at the top 10 list for this week. And we start off with number 10. We have Spider-Man No Way Home on DVD. That is at number 10. And number 9, we have Morbius, the DVD, at number 9. That is the DVD of Morbius. At number 8, we have Belfast, the DVD of Belfast. Have either of you seen Belfast, gents?
No. I don't know much about it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm same as you both. I've still not seen that movie. It's one that's been in the top 10 though for quite some time now. It's still in that top 10, so it must be a lot of people enjoying that movie in the best sales list. So that's at number 8, Belfast. We have at number 7, Encanto, Disney movie, a DVD, really fun movie. Number 6, we have the DVD of No Time to Die. Number 5, we have Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, the Blu-ray. Number 4, we have the 4K of the Batman. Number 3, we have Top Gun on DVD. That is the 30th anniversary edition of Top Gun on DVD. At number 2, we have the DVD of the Batman. And at number 1, still dominating the charts of the Amazon Top 10, we have the Blu-ray of the Batman. The Batman is dominating the charts at the moment. We said Sing 2 was a really surprising one that was top of the charts for many, many weeks. But it has been taken out of the top 10 now. Sing 2. I know Ben is on screen. He's looking. I don't think he's going to pull out Sing 2, but I believe he's going to pull out a different movie. Or maybe he's going to pull out Sing 2. Maybe he's a fan of Sing 2. I don't know, but let's see. If you enjoy Sing 2, I don't know. Ben's screen is blurred up and he's frozen for a moment. But I'm sure
I brought the double pack of Sing 1 and Sing 2, but I haven't watched them.
You've not watched them? Here we go. We're back on with Ben. And we've got is that the Zavi release, is it, Ben, or HMV, sorry?
Yeah. No, this is the HMV release
of the Batman.
The Batman Steelbook booklet, very solid set. Quite pricey, but I think worth it. And you gotta love that cover. I mean, I just love you got the Batman head, and then you got the sort of Riddler question mark in there. A solid set.
I like that.
And like I said, a bit pricey, but worth it. It looks really good on the shelf.
Really, really fun movie. And sorry, Shaun, you were saying as well, Sing 1 and 2. Have you watched them?
I haven't seen them yet. I bought a double pack. It was like two for a tenner. I think As the Living I bought it from.
Super. So, Let's let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, I like watching stuff like that with my nephew.
Yeah.
He likes that sort of thing.
I like animated movies. I really enjoy chilling out to animated movies. So it's definitely one I'll check out further down the line. But that is the Amazon Top 10 for this week, ladies and gents. Let's move on to the next segment of today's show. And the next segment is the final segment of today's show, and it is What's Been on the Screen. This is where we discuss what we've been watching over the past week or so. And I'm going to start off with Ben. What have you been watching this past week, Ben? Movies, TV shows? What have you been watching, buddy? What have you been watching, Ben? And And sorry, I think we may have lost Ben for a moment.
I'm still going through season 4 of Quantum Leap.
I can hear him.
And yeah, I'm about halfway. Yeah, I'm really lagging behind here. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm still going through
Don't
Quantum
worry,
Leap
buddy.
season 4. You know, very, very solid series from the 90s. If you haven't heard about it, you know, time travel show. Yeah, and I've got one more season to go for season 5. But yeah, I'm still on season 4, and hopefully at some point I'll get back into Knight Rider and going through that again. Yeah, one of all-time favorites from the 80s. You know, love this show. I'm even wearing a t-shirt. Knight Rider.
Oh,
and yeah, always got time for these two. It's always nice to sort episodes on and just have them on in the background because I've seen them so many times. Really familiar with them. If you want to get them, you know, they're still very affordable. You know, you can still get these for about a tenner off Amazon. And yeah, just good 80s nostalgia.
Yeah, I've got the complete box sets of both of those.
I've still been going through those box sets.
Fantastic. Superb, buddy. And what about yourself, Shaun? What's been on your screen this week? Movies, TV shows? What have you been watching?
TV-wise, I've been watching on Netflix Parks and Recreation.
Great show.
Yeah, so I've never seen it before, and I wanted to watch something new, and I heard it was good, so I binge watched the 7 seasons of that. Movie-wise, I watched The Batman, Nan the Movie.
All right, okay.
I brought that as well.
Any good?
If you like Catherine Tate and you like the character, then you'll like the movie. I don't think it's going to be that enjoyable if you don't, because the storyline's pretty tame.
Yeah,
but I think it's all dependent on whether you like the character or if you like Catherine Tate. I think it's more whether you're going to like the film or not. But I didn't think the film was that bad. They had some few laugh out loud moments in it. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. I've been trying to catch up with my wrestling DVDs, which I've just recently bought. So I've watched disc 1 and 2 of the History of the Hardcore title for the wrestling.
Yeah, I seen this on your pickups. A really top pickup, that one.
Yeah,
has it been a fun watch?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a bit of a nostalgia again. It's really good. When times when wrestling was actually good.
Oh yeah.
And fun.
It's weird now. You've got obviously they had the standard hardcore matches, and then they had the 24/7 stuff with Crash Holly back in the Attitude Era. But now they have the 24/7 championship, where it's like a similar vibe they're going for. But it's nowhere near. There's nowhere. That Crash Holly stuff back in the day was amazing. I used to love the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
It was top notch. And did you watch the Doctor Strange 2? Did you say?
Oh yeah, and I watched Doctor Strange 2 yesterday, and I didn't mind it. I thought it was actually quite good, and with the cameos in it as well. It wasn't bad.
It was that's a good rewatch. I want to get to both of you now with one show in particular, and we mentioned it off air, and that is Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Obi-Wan Kenobi this past week had its season finale. It was 6 episodes on Disney Plus. And we will go into spoiler territory now. So if you've not watched any of that show or you've not watched the finale, maybe come back and watch this at a later point. But let's get into the show overall and what we think of the finale. So there will be spoilers ahead in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'll just say, first of all, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was I think for me, Disney throw anything Star Wars, I'm going to enjoy it. I just like Star Wars. I think it was any type of character, any character from Star Wars, I'm all in. And I think in general, I generally enjoy it. Like Boba Fett, I enjoyed that. I think it was kind of went off track a bit, the Boba Fett show, but I still enjoyed it. And with this, I enjoyed it, even though Ewan McGregor, I prefer Alec Guinness's incarnation of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's just a performance I prefer, but I think he really nailed it. And I think I enjoyed Ewan McGregor's performance a lot more in this, and seeing the ending, especially the duel with Vader, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so exciting. I thought it was just a great lightsaber battle. There wasn't many flips in it, and it just it was a bit more, they went a bit more old school with it, which I enjoyed. And I liked it, and I liked the overall look and feel of the show. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben, Ben, what did you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down. Did you enjoy the show?
I'm kind of sort of in between. You know, I didn't hate it, but I was just hoping for a little bit more. I mean, I was satisfied with the ending. You know, I felt it was nice to sort of see him progress from where he started to where it finished. And you know, the final duel he had with Vader, you know, it was warranted and it did what it did. But I just wish there was a bit more Obi-Wan and a few more flashbacks with Hayden Christensen, because we only really got one scene with him. I was hoping for a little bit more. And I think I said to you guys off camera, I was hoping for Revenge of the Sith and more from Order 66 and a bit more flashball. And nothing wrong with the Reva character, but I just felt she was unnecessary, you know. Not bad, you know, but I just felt I didn't really want to see her on screen. I want to see Obi-Wan on screen. And it was nice to see Hayden, you know, back in the suit, you know, all the scenes. And some of the editing was a bit shonky in places. You know, it wasn't totally perfect, but there was a few times where there was maybe a bit shaky cam, and also I just wish they would go to more planets, because we've seen so much on Tatooine now. Can we please go else in Star Wars? Yeah, that's really what I want. But like I said, it was okay, but I was hoping for just a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely.
But not too bad. It was worth watching.
What did you think of the de-aging, Ben, of Anakin Sky, of Hayden Christensen? Did you think the de-aging look was okay, or do you reckon it looked a bit like out of place at times, where they've shown the Attack of the Clones version of Hayden Christensen in like the duels with Obi-Wan? Do you think it looked okay, or do you reckon it maybe looked a bit out of place? The de-aging wasn't quite on par.
I think it looked as good as it was going to get, really. I mean, to be fair, Hayden's aged very well. And I think that was it, really. Yeah. I mean, in terms of like the hairstyle and the costume, obviously you can tell he's not as skinny as he was in Attack of the Clones, but yeah. They did as best as they could, and it looked okay. You can tell he's older. You know, it didn't really bother me, to be honest. Yeah.
I thought it worked more. It worked better more when it was the scenes with Order 66 where he had like the cloak over him, and it didn't look as noticeable. But I think like you said, overall, I don't think, like you said, he's aged pretty well, Hayden Christensen. I don't think he looks, like you said, maybe he's put on a few pounds, but it doesn't look like a massive difference compared to a film 20 years ago. I think it's pretty decent for, he's aged pretty well. I think he'll be happy with his age, and he's obviously using some sort of moisturizer that's like a Hollywood moisturizer. And he's doing well, so it was nice to see him on screen. And Shaun, what did you think of the series overall? What did you think of the show, Shaun? Did you enjoy it?
For what it was, I thought it was okay. I expected more, but yeah, it was good. I mean, like, it didn't have me hooked like The Mandalorian, where I watched every episode weekly. With this, I watched the first 2 episodes and I wasn't really a big fan, and then I watched the last 4 and they got better as they went on. And there was a couple of bits I didn't like in it, like where he stabs Reva. Is it Reva with the lightsaber, and he just leaves her instead of actually killing her, like he does with everybody else. But he lets her live. That didn't make sense. You'd have thought he'd have struck her down, and that'd have been it.
Yeah.
And then and of course with the Force, where he pulls down the ship, and then the other ship out of nowhere just disappears. And that didn't make sense. You show Darth Vader as this really big, powerful character who can pull down ships and stuff like that. I think they overpowered him there. But those are my 2 real gripes with it.
And obviously, at the end, we see this cameo, small appearance. It's teased at the start of the show, where Obi-Wan is like asking for his mentor Qui-Gon Jinn to obviously to make an appearance as a Force ghost, to give him some wisdom for the obviously for the show, for his future. And it's teased, and I thought at the start of the show, surely they're teasing it. They're gonna give either a Mace Windu or a Qui-Gon cameo. And then we see obviously Liam Neeson return for I think it was like a 6-second scene and the very end of the show where he shows up as a Force ghost, and he says, "Come on, Obi-Wan, like let's go," and then they go off on like a little adventure. What did you think of the end, Shaun? Did you like the cameo at the end, or do you think it was unnecessary?
I like the ending, but it was supposed to be his training, weren't it? So what's he been doing for 10 years? It was supposed to be his training to get out to show him. That's what Yoda said to him at the end of the last film, weren't it? That it was going to be his training so he could communicate with him while he's in isolation. So for 10 years, what's he been at?
Well, he's been working at the butcher's for 10 years. He's been doing it, cooking, like slicing up space meat for the last 10 years. Yoda's looking down. He's thinking, "What is this guy doing now?" He should be.
It was a nice cameo. I did enjoy it.
Mm.
I'd like to have seen a bit more of him, to be fair. But
Qui-Gon, Ben, did you enjoy the cameo appearance? Do you think he aged well? Do you reckon the de-aging worked well with Qui-Gon, with Liam Neeson? What did you think of the appearance of Liam Neeson in the end scene of that, Ben?
It was long overdue because I think Liam Neeson was supposed to have shown up in Attack of the Clones, but he wasn't available at that point. And then obviously there weren't any plans to bring him, but just to finally see him. But I just, again, like what Shaun just said, I just wanted just a little bit more of Liam Neeson. I think rather than just like a quick cameo, it would have been nice if it was an entire, if we had more Force Ghost stuff in towards the end. Because by the time it ends, I'm like, I want to watch all this. I don't want to see what we've seen. I want to see now what's going to happen. But unless that's going to come back for another series, it served. But I just wanted a bit more Neeson, if you know what I mean. More.
Mm. I agree with you both. Definitely more Neeson. Definitely. I think this show really sets up like a future, though. I think it like sets up like a young Princess Leia show with that young actress. Obviously mentioned at the start of the show. Shaun mentioned really good, talented actress, young actress. I don't know the young girl's name, but I think if they go in that direction with her, maybe in in some sort of show like the Young Adventures of Leia, I'd be happy to see that. I think it feels like maybe they're setting up the character of Reva as maybe as a character who's maybe across a couple of shows. Maybe has her own show, but maybe a Vader show as well. Maybe that's what we're going to see later down the line. I think they could do it. There's obviously the comic books, there's stories to be told. Hayden Christensen, he looks like he's happy to return into that role, and they had James Earl Jones return for the voice as well, which I really liked seeing it and hearing. It was really cool to see. So I think if it sets up, it's like a launch pad for more of these shows and potentially a season 2.
I think Andor, in it, they've got coming out next. I think, and is it the Bad Batch too?
Yeah.
They got Andor coming out, and I think that's set a little bit further on in it from Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so that's another one. But there's some Andor. I think Andor's going to be a really fun show to watch. I think it's like I like that character in Rogue One. Definitely. Are you looking forward to Andor as well, Ben? What do you think of Andor? Are you excited for that one? That's Andor. And I think we're all on a 10-second delay. But yeah, so we got.
So repeat that. Yeah, I'm coming through really badly. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry, buddy. Yeah. Don't worry. It's no problem. Can you repeat the question? Problem. Yeah. Okay. It's A B. So we're going for Andor. Are you looking forward to that show? So that's the spin-off of the Rogue One character. What do you think of that, Ben? Are you looking forward to seeing that one? Fastest fingers first.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Andor because I do like Rogue One. I think Rogue One being, the best film we had from Disney Star Wars, and to see a whole show about him, I think is quite interesting. It looks like we're going to see different worlds and different planets. I think that's where new Star Wars needs to go. I think we need to stop, going back to characters we know or might be a little bit familiar with, and just bring us new stuff, like completely new people that we haven't seen before. Because if it's completely new, then we've got nothing to compare them to. And I think a lot more people enjoy it if it's something new. So that's what Andor looks like. And, I liked his character in Rogue One. And this looks like this could be the formation of the Rebels. The origins of that. So I'm open to it, and I'm hoping this one could be, really decent. I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I completely agree. I think it's going to be a fun show, and to see that formation, like you said, the Rebels, that'll be really, really good to see as well. And I think it's just in general, I'm just happy. I hope they do. I'd be excited to see a season 2 of Obi-Wan. If it doesn't happen, I wouldn't be gutted. But I think if they obviously greenlit it, I think I'd be happy to see it. I'd definitely watch it. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was a decent show, a decent Star Wars show. I can't believe Disney. But what's really baffles me is Disney Plus have released this Obi-Wan show at the same point where they've released this Ms. Marvel, this new Marvel MCU show, and they released it within, I think it was like the second week or around the same time on the same day, and it's like, I've not watched Ms. Marvel yet because you've got Stranger Things, you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi at the moment. So many different shows at the moment coming out from streaming services, and it just seems like it baffles me why they didn't just like release it a few weeks later when Obi-Wan had finished. But that's another one I'm looking forward to watching soon for sure. But Obi-Wan, a really good show, well worth checking out if you've not checked out before. And that is what's been on the screen for us all today. And that is the final segment of today's show over and done with. And that is today's show over and done with. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone out there for watching today's show. If you enjoy this, please do give it a like if you're watching on video on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and leave us a comment in the comments section on today's show topics of summer blockbuster headline movies. What were some of your summer favorite movies, ladies and gents? Let me know all your thoughts. If you're listening on a podcast app of your choice, please do leave a 5-star review. If you can leave a 5-star review, it helps the Movie Cheer podcast to grow even more so. I appreciate all of your support, ladies and gents. I just want to say big thank you to everyone listening and watching. If you're listening along live today or on the replay, thank you very much for listening. And I just want to say a big thank you as well to Ben and Shaun, Rider Rated 18, Ben and Shaun, Media Collector Madness. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It has been an absolute pleasure to spend the afternoon with you both discussing movies. I've really enjoyed the chat today. I really appreciate you both coming on. As I said at the start of the show, 2 top guys here. I just want to say again, first of all, let's start off with Shaun. Shaun, where can people find you on YouTube, on social media? Where is the best place to find you? How can they find you best, Shaun?
I'm more on Facebook, but I've started using Instagram and stuff more for Media Collector Madness. It's all the same. I also use Letterboxd as well. I'm on there, but I don't use that as often as everything else. And Twitter, I'm also on. So I'm trying to do a little bit more on Instagram at the moment. So yeah, that's where you can find me. I've started to do a few more reviews and a few less pickup videos.
Well, great. I honestly, Shaun's channel, great channel. YouTube, Media Collector Madness. Check it out. And I'll go to Ben as well. Ben, Rider Rated 18. Where can they find you, Ben? On we'll get a 10-second delay. Ben, where can they find you, buddy?
Only on that's pretty much active most of the time. Still getting delays.
So
hopefully this won't sound as
hey,
bad.
Don't worry, mate.
Only on Instagram, that's where most active. I share what's behind me, movies. I share movies, and share, do some reviews now and again, a few live streams now and again, share laser discs, and it's pretty much what I'm watching. It's the only social I'm really active on. So I'm always on Instagram pretty much every day.
Superb. Well, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave in both of your social media links, your YouTube links, and all your links down below in the comments in the bio section on YouTube. Check out both these guys. Both got great content online, and like I said, just great lads, great movie, fans within this community of movie fans, movie community. People like myself, we just enjoy watching movies, and it's been great discussing movies with both of these guys over the past couple of months, and today especially it's been fun discussing summer movies with both Ben and with Shaun. So again, thank you very much, gents. Check out these 2 online, 2 top fellas, and I will say again, thank you very much to all of you out there for watching today. It's been a really fun show of discussing summer topics. As I said, next week it'll be the final show for a little short period. Then I'm going to take a quick 3-week break then after next week's predictions show on Thor Love and Thunder. And then I'll be back after that short break, a little planned break. But next week, like I said, prediction show for Love and Thunder. That's going to be a fun show as well. But I just want to say thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer. And as always, we will see you next time.